Hello again. This is my week 14 recap. Um, and we'll run through everything real quickly. I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit of success right here, even though I only had one day where I did have any success, but um, I feel a little bit different doing these exercises, and I seem to be getting at something a little bit more out of these exercises. So I felt like last week I did learn something. At least that's something positive to get from this. Um, the 28th of February, I had a feeling like it was the left knee. It was not. It was lumbar. 29th of February, I felt like it was a lumbar, and it turned out to be like cervical spine. The 1st of March was the day that I got it completely correct. Again, it seems like when I get it correct, I get it like amazingly correct. This one, I had a feeling like it was the lower back of the patient, and then as I was kind of glancing around, that again, I don't know how to describe it because I'm kind of going by feeling now. I'm not really visualizing things quite as much. There's some visualization that comes with it, but it's coming more as a feeling now. And like for example, I imagine myself feeling what type of coil I'm gonna actually pick up, and I can tell just by like feeling which one it is. I mean, if you work at your work, I mean, there's certain things that you're gonna know just by touch alone what it is, just because you're around it all the time. And that's just one of those things. The coils that you could just tell just by feel which one it is. And I just I felt like it was I was picking up the spine one, and I'm having a hard time like determining which part of the spine it is. But as far as the coil itself, I'm starting to get that pretty well. So and then I imagined that I felt like it was the lower back, which it was. But I also imagined that it might be a shoulder or something. I couldn't really figure it out, but it was just like something slight, feeling like it could be a shoulder. I don't know if it was like the number of the code that I felt like I got, but it was something to do with a shoulder. But I stuck with the lower back because that's what I got first, and I didn't want to uh, corrupt my data. So even though I got that little bit of the shoulder, I just went ahead and stuck with the lower back. As it turned out, when I came in, there's another coworker who opens up for me most of the days except for Wednesday, where I do it. And she had set up for a shoulder because we have a few family members that are actually working in the same clinic, and her daughter had hurt her shoulder and was possibly coming in to scan. I was going to scan her shoulder before the first patient of the day, which was a lumbar. Turned out that I did the lumbar first, and she came in later on. So it was really interesting that I got that lower back and then the shoulder, and then it turned out when I come in, there was a possibility that I could do the shoulder, but I ended up doing the lower back on a patient. And again, when I visualize it, I just say patient X, first patient that I'm going to scan. What am I going to scan? So I don't really have specifics on who it is. It's just the first patient that I'm going to scan on the scanner. So that one was perfectly correct. It was right on. 2nd of March, I felt like it could be the cervical. Again, I knew it was probably the spine coil that I was grabbing, and it turned out to be actually the other parts of the spine, the thoracic and the lower back. But I did get the spine coil correct. On the 3rd, I didn't do too much of anything. On the 4th, I got a message again. You know, this sometimes I get like personal messages, things that I need to work on myself. Um, and I got a message that I needed to work on the fear um, that something's going to happen to my daughter. You know, I had I don't know why I had this strange feeling. Um, I guess an overprotective type of feeling on my daughter, and that is something that I guess it's telling me it's like weighing me down. I guess you know when you have like fearful feelings, they can. You know, the way I'm getting it is it's almost like you know it's just resistance that you're getting, and it can drag and mess up other things in your life. I don't know how to describe that. You know, I mean, I guess you can go into Abraham Hicks and it will explain some of that, but I'm not going to go too far into resistance. But just something I needed to work on. And then the other one was the fear of that some foods that you eat are bad. And the way I'm getting it is that there really is no food that's bad. It's all what you perceive as bad, and that's really hard uh, to for most people to get because there's so many people that say that this is bad and this is bad and this is bad, and you have like these junk food. You know, you think that's bad. Even the name junk food is bad. But the interesting thing is that you know, anybody that watched Super Size Me, there was a man that was eating Big Macs. You know, I don't know how many. He was eating a buku amount of you know Big Macs. I think he ate one every day for many years. And at the end of the movie, they said that they had tested you know his cholesterol and you know and all his blood work, and he was perfectly fine. But he was very happy with eating Big Macs. He loved it, you know. Never saw anything bad about it. So I think that something like that is telling you that it's not what you're eating, is how you're perceiving it. And so it was saying that there's you know like some things that I was just viewing as just like a guilt feeling or something about certain foods, and you know again just more resistance that I needed to work on. Again, just most it has nothing to do with really the experiment, just more personal things that I'm getting, just things to work on um, for the overall growth of my being, I guess, is how I'm getting it. So, and then to this morning, I visualized again, like the cervical. I knew it was the spine coil I seemed to get, but it was actually the lower back. So I'm having a little trouble determining which part of the spine I'm not sure what I did correct on the first that I didn't do on some of the other days. I guess I just got to fine tune what I'm getting, but I do feel a little bit different doing it. I'm not putting as much pressure on myself. Um, and I'm just trying to get the information differently and not like trying to see it. And that was one of the things that I was doing before. I was forcing myself to try to see the answer in my mind. And maybe that's not how the information is going to come to you. And maybe you just need to be a little bit more open on how it's going to come to you. So I'm trying to do that. And that's pretty much about it for this week. So again, thank you everybody for watching, and take care.